What's going on, guys? My name is Rami and welcome back to RQ's Garage, an automotive YouTube channel where I teach you the ins and outs of car knowledge. And in today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to properly install a spare tire on your car. Let me paint you a picture, all right? You're cruising with your homies on a beautiful July summer evening, listening to Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. Next thing you know, you hear a lot bang, right? And then your steering wheel's rattling, right? You pull over, you look, and you see you punctured your tire. Well, I'm gonna give you all the tips and tricks and all the knowledge on how to properly and safely install a spare tire. Are you guys ready? Because I am. Let's get after it. So, we're gonna need our spare tire and our jack materials. All right, guys, so this is a tire that we are going to replace. So let's say that this tire is flat and we want to change it out. Before we lift up the car, we need to unloosen these lug nuts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because they're so tight on the car, if the car's lifted up and you're trying to twist them off, it could be a major problem, very messy. We don't want to do that. So we want to, right now, loosen the lug nuts while the car is on the ground. Let's do it. Now, a little trick, guys. If the lug nut is really on there tight and you can't get it off, you can simply just step on the ratcheting tool and it will unbuckle it. All the lug nuts are loose on this wheel. Now we can jack up the car. Now when jacking up the car, we want to look for the access point. So we're going to follow the arrow and go back, and we can see right there, that is where our access point is going to be. Now we can safely lift up the car. And if you guys need a tutorial on how to safely and properly jack up your car, I've already made a video on that, and I will link that in the description below. As I'm jacking up the car, you can see the tire slowly come up. And in order to take the tire off the car, we want the tire to be completely off the ground. So we're gonna jack the car up until we can see that the tire is not making contact with the ground. The tire is not touching the ground at all. So we are good to go. So while the jack is still holding the car, we can take our wrench tool and we can undo all the bolts. All the bolts are taken out the car. We can just wiggle it, and just like that, the tire comes right off. So out with the old tire and in with the donut. Now you want to make sure that these little holes line up with the spokes to put it on correctly. So it just takes a little bit of wiggling, and just like that, the spare can be on. You guys can hand tighten now. So just a little trick. Try to move the wheel front and back. You don't want a lot of play. You want to hand tighten everything so that the bottom of the wheel is perpendicular to the ground. All right, guys, a quick pause. So when I just said that the bottom of the wheel has to be perpendicular to the ground, what I meant was when you're installing the spare tire, it's going to be top heavy. So the top portion of the tire is going to bend in, kind of like the negative camber diagram shown on the left-hand side. So I want you to tighten up the lug nuts or the bolts on your tire so that it looks like the neutral camber diagram on the right-hand side. And I'm not going to explain what camber is in this video, but just have your tire look like the neutral camber, that the surface of the tire, the thread or surface, is fully going to touch the ground. So now that our donut's installed, something really important, guys, that we have to do is we have to tighten them, but in a crisscross pattern. Now, what does that mean? So we have to go from one lug nut to the next at a crisscross angle. Just look at it like a big star, like you're drawing a star in middle school. Why is that important? Well, if you are going to tighten pressure, you have to make sure it's tightened evenly on all different sides of the wheel. So for now, we're gonna hand tighten them just a little bit, just so they're on the wheel assembly. And like I said, remember, we're doing a crisscross pattern, tightening them up diagonally from each other. So now that they're a little bit tight, as we can see, we can't tighten them all the way because the wheel is moving freely with it. Now we're gonna bring down the jack. Now that our spare is on the ground, and ironically enough, my spare needs air, so LOL, but your spare tire has to always have air in it. So guys, make sure your spare tire has air in it. That's an RQ thumbs down for me. But now that we have pressure on our car, we're going to simply tighten our lug nuts really tight to make sure that our spare is on. And remember guys, again, I'm doing the crisscross pattern here. So once you can't tighten them anymore, you feel them really on there tight, you'll officially put on a spare tire. Well guys, that is how you properly put a spare tire on your car. Whether you have a flat, whether your spare tire was flat, which is a very ironic situation for me, which I will fix, now you know how to put a spare tire on your car. So you're not stranded, you're not worried, you can get to where you need to be. And yes, you will get a little dirty, it is a little sweat intensive, but you know that you can do it. You don't need a mechanic, you are able to do it. You guys are awesome, I love you guys, thank you for your support. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. All right guys, I wanted to show you what a proper spare tire filled with air looks like. So I went out, I filled my spare tire up with air, and I reinstalled it on my vehicle, and this is what it should look like. So don't let the video fool you, I do know what I'm doing, I just so happened to have a flat tire when I was doing the video, but here is what it looks like.